Everybody wants answers for this, just as we do.
Right now at 6, questions over accountability. Denver police officers injure 5 people after shooting into a crowd in downtown Denver.
How come 5 other people hit and we can't even get an apology?
Tonight, we hear from Denver's police chief about department policy as so many questions remain unanswered.
Plus, Denver Mayor Michael Hancock holds his final State of the City address.
The state of our city, recognizing what we've come through, is a city in motion.
As he prepares to hang up his hat, we look back at his past decade in office.
And we begin tonight at 6 with a Denver 7 Weather Action Day and this live look from our mile-high camera over downtown Denver. Now, we had some showers move through within the past hour, and we are hoping that brings a little relief to these triple-digit temps. Good evening, and thank you so much for watching Denver 7 News at 6. I'm Ann Trujillo.
And I'm Jessica Porter. Well, the heat really kicked into high gear today, and it will be sticking with us all week long.
Denver 7's Danny New has some information on cooling centers open around the metro. We start with Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson. And Mike, this was a record breaker.
On 2 sides of the day, as a matter of fact. First, the record high this afternoon at 100 degrees. It beat a mark set back in 1878 at 99 degrees, and we were not alone. Fort Collins and Greeley and Akron and Ray all setting record highs, Sterling as well. But this morning, we started out at 72 degrees. That also set an all-time record for the warmest low temperature ever on July 18th. The old mark was at 70 degrees, and we blew that one away as well. Right now we're at 94 degrees here. We've had a few cooling showers. Ray is still at 104. There's the showers. There's not a whole lot to them, but they've brought a little bit of what I like to call brief relief to a few lucky spots, and the skies have kind of just been partly to mostly cloudy. For the most part, though, the heat sticks to us. Isolated afternoon storms with little meaningful moisture coming up. So with more of that heat coming on and on and on, we have to deal with it. Let's go to Danny New for more details on that.
Yeah, Mike, I figured if we were going to talk about the heat, one of us should be outside, and I'm the lucky one. So let me tell you about 2 cooling centers, because like you said, this is probably not the last time you might have record-breaking heat. So we visited 2 today that have been designated as cooling centers. One is the Swansea Recreation Center in Denver, and then the Hoffman Library in Aurora. Both have access to, of course, cooler air inside, but also restrooms and water, which is essential. And they each have, some of their own amenities to offer. Hoffman, of course, has books that you can peruse. And then Swansea gives you full access to their outdoor pool, which they would like to get the word out there about, along with the rest of their options.
If you get too hot, you can come take a dip in the outdoor pool while we're open, get some water and relief from the heat, and then being able to get access to water and restrooms is huge for folks outside.
And I should also mention that Swansea Recreation Center has a basketball court you can use. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to demonstrate it very well for you guys. Just wanted you to know it was there, but unfortunately I couldn't show you how professionals look when they use it. But you can go and immediately be better than me when you start shooting around there. That did not go well for me. So again, Swansea Recreation Center and Hoffman Library in Aurora, 2 cooling centers you guys can use in the future. Back to you guys at the desk.
Good to know. Thank you.
Just a little more practice, Danny. Thank you. Well, Denver Mayor Michael Hancock is in the final stages of his time as the city's leader.
Today, he held his 11th and final State of the City address at the Montbello Rec Center. The main focus of the mayor's address, 2 things that his office has grappled with for the past several years: homelessness and a spiking crime rate.
This address comes less than 48 hours after a shooting in downtown Denver. The area was crowded with people as bars let out early Sunday morning. Police shot a man who they say pointed a gun at officers near 20th and Larimer. 5 innocent people were injured either from being shot by police or from shrapnel from officers' bullets.
And we'll get to the latest on that shooting in a moment. First, take a listen to what Mayor Hancock said today about addressing crime. He says it shouldn't be a debate over more or less policing.
It's about better policing, better responses to different circumstances, and better community support to address the root causes of crime. Our residents should feel safe in their communities and safe to interact with our officers.
And as we look back on the Denver mayor's final State of the City address, the question comes up: has he left the city in a better place than how he found it? Denver 7's Megan Lopez is live now. And Megan, this is when the question of the mayor's legacy starts to come up.
That's right, and how he will be remembered. Mayor Michael Hancock is Denver's second black mayor. Before that, he served on Denver City Council for 8 years. Now, during his State of the City address today, he spent a lot of time looking forward at things that he wants to accomplish during his last year in office. But we decided we wanted to take a look backward.
For more than a decade, Denver turned to Mayor Michael Hancock to lead them through good times and bad.
And now delivering my final State of the City address.
As he gets ready to wrap up his time in office, a look at his legacy, starting with the economy.
We are rebuilding yet again. Our recovery is strong.
Mayor Hancock took over as the city was recovering from the Great Recession. He wanted to create jobs, balance the budget, and make Denver a business travel destination. Since 2011, Denver has added 19 new direct international flights, and the airport is undergoing major renovation. COVID slowed things down significantly. Now, fears of another recession, but he says the city is better prepared.
I think we have more economic tools available to us than we did last recession.
Housing affordability, another major priority. The city has added down payment assistance, but Denver was recently ranked one of the least affordable areas in the country.
This is going to be something that's going to take a long time to address. Denver will never build its way out of this.
The issue of homelessness, also something he focused on in his early days, and also a growing issue today. The Metro Denver Housing Initiative found people reporting first-time homelessness doubled in 2021 from the previous year.
We've got a myriad of issues that impact every individual on the street, and we got to take the solutions one person at a time, because blanket response is not going to be effective.
Crime is also on the rise, something Mayor Hancock admitted is a serious concern.
A dramatic spike in violent crime has damaged our city's sense of safety. We're going to continue to hire more police officers.
But he says crime is not a single issue, so it requires a comprehensive approach.
But one thing we have to be clear is that we won't tolerate crime in our city, and we want to do everything we can to bring every tool to bear to make sure people understand there will be consequences.
Finally, on Vision Zero, or a goal to end traffic deaths by 2030, Denver broke a 20-year record for traffic deaths last year and is on pace to break the all-time record this year. Still, the mayor says he isn't giving up.
The reality is we're going to keep trying.
Hancock says he'll leave it to others to write his legacy. For now,
we're going to focus hard on all those issues and those metrics and do everything we can to hand over a vibrant city to the next administration.
So a lot of the issues that the mayor started addressing more than a decade ago are still around today. But guys, a lot of major cities across the country are facing those same exact issues. We tried asking the mayor who he wants his successor to be, but he wouldn't answer. I'm live. Megan Lopez, Denver 7.
Megan, thank you. Today, Denver Police Chief Paul Pazin addressed Sunday's early morning shooting for the first time. He did not address DPD's decision to open fire in a crowded area, citing the ongoing investigation. But he says accountability goes both ways.
We talked about accountability a little bit earlier, right? We talked about ensuring that officers are held accountable for their actions. We certainly need to ensure that violent and repeat offenders are held accountable for their actions as well.
Denver 7 Chief Investigative Reporter Tony Kovaleski joining us now live downtown. Tony, this investigation is complicated. Hindsight, of course, is 2020, but officers did have to make a split-second decision.
Yeah, Jessica, that's an understatement for sure. It happened about 40 hours ago here at the corner of 20th and Larimer as the bar crowd was clearing out. As you said, a split-second decision involving a suspect with a robust criminal history who was out on parole within the past 8 months. Bottom line, Denver's police chief speaking for the first time today, promising a clear and thorough investigation.
Everybody wants answers for this, just as we do.
Now, less than 48 hours after the shooting, questions are centering on decisions to shoot with dozens of innocent people nearby. What is policy when you've got an apparent bad guy and a bunch of people standing around?
So that's something that will be part of this review, and that's something that our first goal is always to protect our community.
Chief Pazin said his investigators are now reviewing body camera video from cameras mounted on street lights in the area, and conducting interviews with responding officers and eyewitnesses. Critical information the city needs before drawing any conclusions. It is Monday, and there are people Monday morning quarterbacking about what happened. That puts you in the spotlight.
Right.
How do you respond?
Well, you know, that's something that we understand. We understand it goes with the job.
Denver's executive director of safety serves as direct oversight for the city's police department.
That's what we're here for. We're going to be held accountable to what we did and how we responded.
And city leaders are well aware Saturday night's officer-involved shooting was the third in less than 5 days.
These are things that happen in our community, especially with this prevalence of gun violence. These are decisions that unfortunately our officers have to make and continue to make on a daily basis.
Now, several other state and local agencies also digging deeper and asking questions. Chief Payson today promising answers, more details by as early as Wednesday. In downtown Denver, I'm Chief Investigative Reporter Tony Kowaleski.
A single pregnant mom felt down on her luck after being duped by a mobile mechanic.
I'm upset with myself. And I honestly feel like I've been myself through it.
Our Denver 7 Gives viewers decided to help lift her up.